Hello, sports fans. Welcome back to another edition of Inside Titan Sports. My name is Eric Kohler, and thanks for joining us. This week, we got a great show lined up for you as we preview the upcoming seasons of men's and women's basketball. You don't want to miss this. That's coming up later in the show. But first, let's kickstart things and get up close with our men's soccer program. With that being said, welcome back the head coach, Oliver Twelvetrees. Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it's great to have you. Hey, congratulations. Great bounce-back win against ASA, a 4-2 winner, and to get back and bounce back off a loss on the road. So talk about that win against ASA Miami.
Yeah, we had a fantastic first half. Started off really strongly and got into a 3-0 lead, and some brilliant individual performances from Danilo. Obviously got the hat trick, scored 3 goals and played very, very well. And then just a solid defensive performance apart from a couple of goalkeeping mistakes. But overall, it was a very, very good performance and gets our first W for the conference.
That's pretty good. Now, Danilo, he was actually named the Student Athlete of the Week. He leads the team in 6 goals and accompanies that with 4 assists. Talk about how you got this young kid to come to Eastern Florida.
Yeah, Danilo was actually playing over here in Florida for the Chivas team, which was one of the best teams in youth soccer in the state. And he caught a lot of coaches' eyes, including myself. And we were chasing him for a while, and he had some opportunities to turn professional back home in the UK. But he did decide to commit to become a Titan, and it's been great because he really is a great kid, and he's doing well in school, working hard on the pitch, and now the goals are coming as well, which is fantastic. And he was really happy to score those 3 goals and lead us to a first conference win.
So you got the hat trick, which is really cool for him as well. But the biggest thing is another freshman, Frosch, that comes in that does a great job for your team. Talk about some other players that support him as well. What about Joshua Donnelly or Alex Alexis?
Yeah, those 3 really have formed a great front line. To start with, we were rotating Alexis, JJ, and Danilo for those 2 central striking positions, but now we found a way tactically to get them in the lineup at the same time. So that's really helped us. We've dropped JJ a little bit deeper, and he uses athleticism to get on the ball more and takes the burden off the scoring. And Danilo's a natural-born finisher. That's what he was born to do, is put the ball in the back of the net. So it's a great opportunity for him to get the goals. And Alexis, the boy is just absolutely lightning. He's probably the fastest thing you've seen out there. He's got professional level pace, very, very quick, and can really stretch the other team's defenses. So that front 3 is really starting to play well, and if those 2 can stay connecting and stay together, then I think they're going to cause a lot of problems for the opposition's defense. And
that was one piece that you're looking for. You're looking for someone to come in to be that finisher for the team. Talk about that important piece that you're filling with Danilo.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, he holds up the ball well, and then he can get in the box and score the goals, which is the hardest thing in the game. That's the hardest thing in the game is scoring goals, and he's got that natural ability to do that. So that helps. Another boy that's really started to fulfill his potential is Nathaniel Grant, local Melbourne High product. He had a good year last year. He played an attacking position, and now we've converted him into a left back, and he scored a goal. He scored the opening goal of the evening on Saturday night, and he really is playing well now, and he gives us pure pace on that left-hand side attacking, and he's learning the defensive side of the game. But he's definitely a player that we're really happy that he's fulfilling his potential, and again, like a local Brevard County boy getting it done.
Now, you have remaining schedules, all conference matches. Where do you stack up, and where does all that competition that comes in? Broward's better now, Daytona State's better. Where do you guys stack up against those guys right now at this point in the season?
Well, right now, we're in that 3rd place. We're behind. Daytona and Broward have played more games than us, so we are behind them. We play each team 3 times, so the goal is really to win the 3-game series against each team. If we can win the 3-game series against Broward and against Daytona, then we should top the group and then qualify to host the district tournament, and that's the goal. And definitely some tough games ahead. All conference schedules, and Daytona and Broward are all top 15, top 10 teams, so it's going to be very, very tough for us. But we know if we stay together and work hard, then we can get the results and get a 4th championship.
So tell our viewers a little bit about Region 8, how you qualify. After the regular season's over, what does it look like going forward?
So like I said, if you can win Florida, if you can get the best record in Florida and beat the other 3 teams in that overall record, then you host the district tournament. So you host then the best team from Georgia, the best team from the Carolinas, and 2 teams from Florida qualify. So you have a semifinal and a final, which is that 2nd weekend in November. So hopefully the 2nd weekend in November, we're hosting what will be a great showcase for junior college soccer, as well as the opportunity to progress to the national tournament. So win that semifinal, final, you progress to the national tournament and have a chance to win it all.
Now there's some big soccer news that actually about, talking about your country you come from. Talk a bit about something that broke out today with U.S. Soccer.
Yeah, big news. Bob Bradley, the former U.S. national team coach, he's got the opportunity to coach Swansea City in the Premier League, and it's the first American ever to coach in the Premier League as a head coach, and so he's got an opportunity to be a trailblazer for American soccer coaches. So it's fantastic news for him, and for me, being a big-time Swansea fan, and also obviously living in America and having a base here, and I kind of feel like I'm certainly half American at least. And so it's really good news for American soccer coaches, and I think it's good news for my hometown team as well.
Now, where is Swansea over there across the pond?
Yeah, we're in Wales. It's in the south of Wales, so it's a town of about 150, about the same size of Melbourne, a little smaller maybe, just on the southwest coast of Wales. So about 3.5 hours drive from London. Nice place when the sun is shining. A little bit rainy, but beautiful place when the sun is shining, but no hurricanes.
So this weekend, Sunday night, you have a big matchup, a rematch of Daytona State. Talk about that game, preview the game, and what Daytona State to try to get that bounce back of that 3-0 loss that you endured last week.
Yeah, Daytona really have tried to mirror our program that we started, 4 years ago, and they've done a fantastic job with good locations, good funding, and, they're really trying to mirror what we've done as a soccer program, and they've made a great start, and, they gave us a little bit of a lesson when we played there a couple of weeks ago. They beat us, and they outworked us in that game, and but we're gunning for them next time. So Sunday is going to be an absolutely massive game. It's going to be a very close game, I'm sure, and we need to make sure we improve on both sides of the ball, defensively and when we've got the ball. But we know if we can play to our strengths, which we will on Sunday, we can get the result and get back up to the top of the table where we belong.
Now, you always like to give feedback to the team where you stand right now. Where does the team grade out right now, in your opinion, as the head coach?
For the first time since I've really been here, we're going through a difficult spell. Certainly we've got to get back to playing like we know we can play. And I think Saturday against ASA was a good start. And now we really need to show what we're made of. We've dropped out of the national rankings. It's the first time in a few years we've dropped out of those national rankings. So we need to get back to international rankings, and we know if we can get the wins in the conference, that'll happen. So certainly improvements need to happen, and they have happened in the last week since that Daytona game, but the test will really be when we play Daytona again on Sunday, and then the following week against Broward, who are both, like I said, top 15 national tournament teams.
So what's your message to the team right now as you make your stretch to the end of the conference of the regular season?
Yeah, it's a battle at this point. We know every game has to go in like a cup final. Every game's a cup final. Every game we need to put everything on the line, and we can't leave anything out there. We have to make sure we're transitioned defensively and make sure we're getting numbers forward so we can score goals and put ourselves in a good position to win and have our young players. We do have some young players in some key positions. Our goalkeeper position, which we talked about, we have 2 freshmen in there and 1 local boy, Bryce Notre Dame. He's doing well, but those goalkeepers need to step up and prove that they can get the job done at this level.
Well, Coach 12 Trees, always appreciate your time, but now we're going to switch gears and talk basketball on the other side of the break as Jim Grimes of your women's program is going to come on Inside Titan Sports. Stay right there.
Eastern Florida State College. This is where you discover new opportunities, where you pursue your dreams, and careers take flight. Apply now for new bachelor and associate degree programs in business, healthcare, computer technology, and other growing fields. Eastern Florida, where Titans rise. Apply today.
Hey fans, welcome back to the show. It's time to talk hoops. With that being said, welcome back the women's head coach, Jim Grimes. Hey, Coach.
Hey, how are you?
Good. You're entering your 4th season with the Titans program, and congratulations on really turning this program around. What's your secret in the kitchen of in your 4th season?
Well, I don't know if I can point to one thing or if it's too secret. It's all about hard work and getting really good players. I mean, the players really have to get most of the credit. The best coaches usually have the best players. So we've been fortunate and blessed to really bring in some talented kids into our program, and they really get the credit for turning the program around.
Well, this is great. This is your first appearance on this season's show, and we're really glad to have you. Now, you've had 2 back-to-back 20-plus win seasons, and you really built on that success as you came to us back in 2013. What did you do before Eastern Florida?
Well, before I became the women's head coach, I was actually the assistant coach for the men's program at Eastern Florida for 3 years. So that was a great experience. I learned a lot from Coach Schulman and really used the blueprint that we used to rebuild the men's program. So I was very fortunate to be in that position for 3 years. And before that, I was a basketball coach and athletic director at Covenant Christian School in Palm Bay.
I'll tell you what, we're lucky to have you. Now, going forward, we have a lot of new faces. There's a few players that are coming back from last year's squad, but talk about some of the new faces that make up the women's program for the Titans.
Well, we really do have a lot of new players this year, a lot of new blood in the program. It's been exciting. We only have 3 returnees, so I have 9 freshmen on the roster this year, and then 1 transfer, so 10 new players this year. We're excited. You know, I think as far as the region goes, a lot of people were excited to see some of our sophomores go. But we feel like we've done a good job. Our staff did a really good job recruiting and replaced them. Caitlin Smith, who was the point guard for state champion Vero Beach last year, has come right in, has been a great leader for us at the point guard position. I'm looking for big things from her. Taylor Smith, who is a transfer from Kennesaw State, is really going to give us some toughness in the post. And so I could keep going. We have so many new kids. It's been a pleasure getting them going so far. We're new into the season, but so far so good.
We'll talk about some of the returners. You have one young lady, Trudy, that came in, and she started 21 games last season. Talk about Trudy a little bit.
Trudy Walker is a very special young lady. You know, I tell this story. I think this might be the only time a coach could tell a story like this. The first time I met Trudy, I was recruiting her, and usually you would meet someone at a gym or maybe in their home. Trudy invited my wife and I to her church, and that was the first time I met her, watching her preach a sermon.
Oh, wow.
It was the first time I ever met Trudy Walker. And so she brings a lot of positive energy. She's a hard worker. She's unique in that she really loves the work of it. We had some outside conditioning this past week. It was really warm outside, and it was the first time we had done that since school had started. And so we did it one day, and she came in my office, and you know, she high-fived me. She says, "Good workout, Coach." I said, "Oh, thanks, Trudy." And she says, "Are we going to do that tomorrow?" I said, "I think we're going to do it all week." And she's just like, she loves it. She loves the work of it. She's really transformed her body. She's a beast in the weight room. And, of course, she averaged almost a double-double for us as a freshman in one of the toughest regions in the country. So I really am looking for some big things from her this year. I think she has the potential to be an All-American, to be quite honest with you.
Now, every season obviously has challenges and opportunities. It's different each and every season. What are some of the opportunities you see from this team as everybody's coming together since you just started practice this past Saturday?
Yeah, when you bring in this many new people into a group, there are definitely some challenges. You know, we feel like we've done a good job of creating a different culture, and now through the summer and the preseason, one of the most important things for us to do as a staff is to reinforce that culture, to reteach it.
Right. As
some of these new players are coming in, they're not aware, but that's why we've been blessed to have those 3 returnees, Dashika, Evie, and Trudy, who have done a really good job of accepting the new players. And so there's definitely been some challenges, but the chemistry on this team is special, I think, and they have really bonded quickly. And so I haven't had any issues in terms of conflicts between the old and the new. And they've really sort of come right into our program, picked up on our principles, which we preach daily, and they've taken them and run with them. And some of those new players, those freshmen, have become leaders already. So it's really been a blessing so far.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. Kudos to you. Obviously, I talk about this a lot with all the other coaches, is that, you know, at the JUCO level, it's a big challenge to you because you really see these players only 2 years. And to be able to bring those kids in such a quick turnaround time and to mesh them together to create that synergy you spoke of, talk about that as a challenge for you as a coach at the JUCO level.
Yeah, one of the things that's really helped us there is the kind of kids we really have tried to target, especially this year. We really went after kids looking for fit. So when we recruited this year, we didn't talk a lot to these kids about this is a JUCO, this is a 2-year program.
Right.
We talked to them about Eastern Florida is the best place for you versus a 4-year versus other JUCOs. The kids that we recruited that signed with us bought into that. They feel like they're not coming to a JUCO. They're coming to the school that was the best fit for them, a school that's going to be a launching point for the rest of their basketball career and their professional life. And that's really what we push. We push principles like that. It's a family atmosphere. I talk to kids when I recruit them, I talk to their parents. I want to be a launching point. This is not a 2-year deal for me. This is a lifetime deal for me. If they need me in 10 years, I'll come running. And they know that this is just the first 2 years of the rest of their life. So I talk to them, where are you going to be in 5 years? Where are you going to be in 10 years? If you can find players that will come in and buy into that. The players that we have this year, they're not thinking, well, I'm here 2 years and I'm going to jump to somewhere else. They're thinking, I love Eastern Florida. This is a great place. We got great facilities. I got great teammates. You know, the beach is 10 minutes away. This is great.
That's right.
So and we have had just a unique experience bringing in so many new kids and all of them buying in so quickly and meshing so quickly.
Well, the biggest thing is, too, is the administrative support that you get from Dr. Jim Ritchie and his staff is obviously going to help you a great bit.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I can't tell you how many coaches, college coaches, AAU coaches come through our gym and our campus. They cannot believe what it looks like from just the last time they were there. And I've had people, that I've met with even over the last couple weeks, they're stunned.
Right.
The soccer complex and the brand new softball field, the tennis courts. So much has happened on our campus in the last 2 years, 3 years. It's unbelievable. When Coach Schulman and I first came, we used to do conditioning out in a field with the grass up to our knees where the soccer field is now. Back in the day, just hoping kids didn't step in holes and turn their ankle.
Right.
And so, Dr. Ritchie, along with his administrative staff, and of course Coach Carr, who's a great friend of mine, have been unbelievable supports. I get the question, we've had some success, so one of the questions that people will ask me is, well, are you looking to move on? Are you looking to this? Or you've had any opportunity as a springboard? And I look at them as like, why would I leave? Well, it's just the same thing I tell my players. It's all about fit. And Eastern Florida is a great fit for me. I mean, I love where I live. I love working for Coach Carr. And I love the players that we're able to bring in here. We've been given the resources to bring in the best players in the country and can compete on a national level, and there's nothing more I could ask for. So I feel blessed to be here every day.
Oh, we're lucky to have you. Now, real quick, I know some coaches do or do not like to do this. What are some of your goals and expectations of this squad for this season?
Well, we actually have not identified our team and individual goals yet. That's something we're going to do, and actually this week we have team meetings every Friday, but we really try to talk about principles, values, sort of life goals, life values. And so we're going to talk about goals, but honestly, we preach, and like a lot of coaches do, all I care about is the process. The results, I think, will take care of themselves.
Right.
So we are religious about preaching to our kids, don't live ahead, don't look ahead, get better today. If you get better today, you're the hardest worker in the room, you encourage your teammates, you make your teammates better, that's a good day. Stack it. Stack another good day tomorrow. And the goals will come. All of the kids that have come in here, they've seen the success we've had. All of them want to win a conference championship. All of them want to get to the national tournament. Those are all things we'd all like to do. But the only way to that's 20 steps from where we are now. We need to take step one today. We need to get better today. We have practice here. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going back to practice. We need to have a great practice. So right now, all I'm focused about is today's practice.
Well, Coach, I tell you, I love your message, love your energy. We're lucky to have you. This is the head coach of your Women's Titans program. That's Jim Grimes. We're going to take a short break, come back, and catch up with Jeremy Schulman. This is Inside Titan Sports.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where Titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Hey fans, welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. We're going to continue to talk some hoops. With that being said, welcome back the men's basketball coach, Jeremy Schulman. Hey coach.
Eric, thanks for having me on the show.
It's great to have you as always. Listen, you started your season Tallahassee, a little jamboree. You went up there and came out of there 3-0. What was it, and what were the teams up there that you played?
Well, first off, it was just so exciting to actually get out there to start off the season with our preseason events and get up to Tallahassee, play 3 games, get to go against opponents outside of just having to go against our own teammates every single day at practice and knocking our heads against the wall and play in front of referees, in front of 200 Division I coaches and Division II coaches out there. It's just an exciting experience for our guys to get out there. And the fact that we only have 3 returning sophomores,
right?
So only 3 players that have even scored a college point in their careers. So all these young guys on the roster to get out there and kind of get their nerves out a little bit and play under the bright lights, it was a great experience for our guys.
Well, according to our communications director, Michael Parsons, you said 2 of those teams that you beat were ranked in the top 25.
That is correct. That is correct. We played Santa Fe, who's a perennial 20-win team, right around 20 wins a year normally. Then we played Tallahassee and Daytona, who are both Sporting News top 25 teams in the country. So we knew we were going to get tested with those
Right.
three teams. You know, when the schedule was going to come out, we requested to be scheduled against some very good opponents. We didn't want to have any cupcakes out there. So played three great teams, and I thought our guys performed a little bit higher than my expectations for them, especially
Okay.
for this point in the season. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased. Haven't broken down all the film yet. Broken down about half of the film, but overall, pretty pleased.
Now, last time that you were on the show, really your roster wasn't finalized. Are we getting closer to that point now?
Yeah, getting closer to it. You know, there's still one player on our roster we'll have to redshirt to get to where we need to be right now. But it's getting closer to figuring out, kind of the pool of players of who that's going to be. And we don't treat a redshirt as a negative thing anyways. We treat it as an opportunity to not use a year of eligibility to not play a whole lot of minutes, but instead get better every single day and come in the following year as a redshirt freshman and be an impact player. So we don't look as a negative, but one player will be redshirting this year, and then we'll have 15 on the roster, and we'll be ready to go on November 1st against Polk.
I like it. So talk about the Titan triplets, the sophomores that come back. What about Kareem? That's a big piece to have coming back offensively.
Yeah, we got three unbelievable sophomores coming
Right.
back, and I'm just really blessed. What we don't have in quantity, we've got in quality with Kareem Bruton, Austin Awad, and Juwan Duran. And Kareem, as you just mentioned, is kind of the catalyst of that group. Kareem was a first-team all-conference player as a freshman, and one of the best players in the entire country, not just in the region. Averaged 15 points a game as a freshman, along with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. And Kareem has worked his tail off all summer, and he's taken that next step. I mean, he really looks good right now. His body looks good, his skill set looks good, his conditioning looks good. I mean, we're expecting enormous things from him as a sophomore, and he showed it at the Jamboree. I mean, he looked like one of the best players in the country at the Jamboree.
Is he getting any looks of D1 schools right now? You get some eyes on him right now?
Absolutely. He's got a lot of mid-major Division I looks, and he's got a host of high-major schools recruiting him. He's got Iowa State recruiting him, Georgia Tech,
Wow.
University of Pittsburgh, NC State, and the list goes on. So, I mean, he's a well-known commodity nationwide, and he won't sign until the late signing period, so we expect him to get a lot of recruitment during the season.
Now, Coach, you've done a great job to get the exposure of those coaches. You did the Pro Day a few weeks back. That was highly successful, and now people are finding out what Eastern Florida basketball is all about.
That's something we pride ourselves on. A lot of schools have to go to a jamboree or multiple jamborees to get exposure for their players. We don't. We use it as an opportunity just to get better. We don't care about the exposure aspect because
Right.
we get so many schools by our campus, by Eastern Florida, to watch our guys. So we've actually had 62 times a coach has been in our gym to watch us work out or practice or include Pro Day. I mean, it's unbelievable to think that 62 different times a coach has been in. So our guys have had the exposure, and I think it's a testament to the success that we've had in the past, and not just here, but the success that our guys have had once they've moved on to the Division I level and have really performed admirably and really excelled.
So as you move forward to your opener, as you alluded to, was November the 1st. You go to Barry, you go to Tampa, 2 exhibition games. How do you try to grow the team as you get ready for your home opener?
Those are huge for us. I mentioned that we only go to one jamboree, and it's not because of exposure, because coaches see our guys.
Right.
And the other reason is you learn so much playing these NCAA Division II teams in the preseason. And to schedule 2 teams like Barry and Tampa, Barry, who is, I might be off by a spot or 2, but number 4 in the country, I think, in the final Division II national poll last year. And then Tampa, who is an outstanding team and returns almost every single player, including potentially the preseason conference player of the year in their guard from Indiana. So playing those guys who are older, they're more experienced, with all these young guys that we've got that are still learning even just what a shell drill is defensively in practice.
Right.
The timing of playing them in October is so beneficial for our guys, and there'll be 2 very competitive physical games. It'll help us get our rotation down, getting into our regular season games, and I love playing 2 outstanding Division II teams right before the season starts.
Well, I think it's great, too, though. You find out where you stand going in the season, and you're just going to get better by playing high-quality opponents.
Absolutely. And again, playing the older guys, playing the guys that have been through college basketball
Right.
for 1, 2, 3 years, coming into their senior years, et cetera. So we'll see what we've got. We got a little bit of a glimpse with our guys at the Jamboree, and now we've got 3 weeks between the Jamboree and our game against Barry, our preseason game against Barry. So we're going to see what type of improvement our guys can make in practice, and hopefully we'll look, individually and as a team better when we go down to Miami on the 22nd of October.
Now we have a fun event coming up on October the 19th. It's called Titan Madness. What is it, and how can fans get out there to check out the teams?
Oh, Titan Madness. I'm pumped already. now you've got me out of my seat. So
I like it.
Titan Madness is going to be October 19th, 6 p.m. right there, Melbourne campus at Titan Fieldhouse. And that's our version of Midnight Madness, where we've got our dunk contest, three-point contest with the men's, three-point contest with the women's team, our skills contest. We get to announce the rosters for both teams, and then we've got an inter-squad scrimmage with the men's and women's teams as well. And it's just a great event for the community to get a first look at both teams, to get a look at your 2016-17 teams. It's enjoyable for kids to come out and get to watch such a spectacle. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be energetic. I'm ready.
I think it's great. So it's October 19th. Now, I think it's a great story, as we had Jim Grimes on before you, that he actually worked with you under your program, and now he's the women's coach. I think there's great synergy for the men's and women's basketball programs.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just beyond blessed to have gotten a chance to work with Coach Grimes for 3 years. And, he mentioned that he learned a lot from me. I learned a lot from him. And, we've built just a great friendship off of that, but we've just continued to share ideas. And,
two-way street.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, he still helps me with the men's program just because we bounce ideas off each other, and I'd like to think we help the women's program some as well. But having him in the athletic department, one door, office door, one door down, it makes work enjoyable, but it also I think it's very beneficial, and I think it makes me a better coach having him around.
Well, Coach, I love your energy, love your passion, and good luck the rest of the way. Keep us posted. But October 19th is Titan Madness.
Titan Madness. Everyone come on out. It's free admission. Come on out. It's going to be a great event.
Well, that's all the time we have this week. Thanks so much for tuning us in. Thanks to all the coaches that made up our show today. Remember, fans, anything and everything for Titan Athletics, visit us online at EFSCTitans.com. Well, on behalf of my executive producer, Rob Landers, and Michael Parsons with Eastern Florida, my name is Eric Kohler. Good day, Eastern Florida, where Titans rise.